Good afternoon, class. This is Group 2 with our Case 6 presentation. The title is going to be Project Delivery Considerations and Related Areas. My name is Carlos Valencia.
My name is Kavidu Manish Kumanamperi.
My name is Craig Rhodes.
Okay, to start for the table of content, we're first going to start off going over the case overview for question A and finish off with answering both questions. Then we're going to push to case overview question B and answer both those questions and then finish off with our references. So for the case overview A, on a very large, very complex remodeling and expansion project, an owner has contracted with numerous members of the design team, independent of the architect. The architect does not have any second-tier design firms under their contract. The owner has also contracted with many different material suppliers and specialty subcontractors, directly and not through the general contractor known as GC. The owner is of the belief that they can save money avoiding multiple markups by doing business this way. The owner has, however, written into every contract that each firm is responsible to coordinate and communicate directly with the other independent designers and contractors, as if they were contracted under the standard vertical method rather than this horizontal method.
So in question A, part one, they have given us two questions. First one being, what risks has the owner assumed? One of the main risks that owner has assumed is lesser control over the design. The owner may sacrifice some control over the complete design as they experience trade-offs between the budget and design. This is not this is not a characteristic unique to the design build process. Owners face the same sacrifice decisions in the design build method, although at a greater expense when plans are completed before they are discovered. Secondly, the design may be less creative than one from an independent designer. And thirdly, the lack of competitive bidding may drive up the cost. Critics say that lack of competitive bidding by design build process points to its greater flaw in servicing the interest of the client. By the mere fact of design build method contracting with single source appointment by default eliminates the traditional competitive bidding component from the process. The nature of this method is best value approach instead of competitive bid solicitation approach. This very issue is the design. This very issue is why this method critics suggest as a primary limitation for the project delivery approach. They also claim that the design build inherently allows the master builder to ignore competitive subcontractor bidding, which results in price escalations. And it also depends heavily on trust in design build contract as well. The second part of this question is what risks the designers and contractors assume through this system. No freedom of creativity for the architect. It lacks the creativity, and it stops the architecture from being creative. Many design build companies have stock designs that they use and then tweak it to fit project owners' requests. Whilst this is not true of all design builders, like the likelihood of not getting personalized design is much higher when considered integrated project delivery systems. Miscommunications between the owner, architect, and construction company is a very common occurrence in systems like these. And finally, estimation errors. The concept is still familiar to many business owners, so expectations must be clearly communicated through RPF. Because there are a few checks and balances in regard subcontractor negotiations, change orders and payment requests, a high degree of trust must be established between the owner and the contractor. Cutting out the bidding process, like I was mentioning when I was answering the first question, can raise initial cost estimates, but the final cost could be lower since there would be no unforeseen complications during the construction, which could lead to estimation errors by the estimator. Next question, please.
So for question A, part 2, it's asking us to draw us the organization charts depicting this condition and the standard condition. So for the standard, I went with design and build, which is usually the most common one. And in this case, the owner is expecting the project firms to coordinate and communicate directly with the other independent designers and contractors as if they were contracted under the vertical method instead of the horizontal, which you can see here in the design build.
The case overview, question B. 5 million total construction costs, 30 million total construction costs for sub-consultant design work. 4% of the 4% total architectural fee on the architectural proportion of the work. Additional 10 markup on a sub-consultant design fee. It runs through the architect's books. Sub-consultants will receive 10% design fee of the construction cost, 5% general contract fee on cost, 550,000 for the landscaping, 950,000 for a swimming pool vineyard, 5 million for the electronical subcontractor, and 12 million for the mechanical subcontractor. Next slide. While both, question. This is the question B, part 1. Assuming the following cost for the case described above, what would the cost increase have been to the owner if they had contracted in the normal fashion? While both of the owners and the traditional systems get inputs from the project owner, tradition projects deliver gives you much more than command throughout the process. Aside from getting to choose your own designer and contractor, you have the freedom to make personal changes mid-project without having to start from the beginning again. And then here are the fees, the architectural fees at 4% total construction, you'll get $2 million. And then architectural sub-consultant fee at 10%, you'll get 150,000. The architect total fee received, he'll get 2,150,000. And then the sub-consultant fee at 10% of the construction, he'll get 750,000 each. The GC sub-consultant fee, he'll get 850,000. Next slide.
So to answer for question B, part 2, does this also provide contracting opportunities for the contractors or the designers? It is actually for the contractors. 3 main points are, first one being the price is up to you. The contractor get the easy opportunity to earn more money. And the secondly being better project clarity. Design with build follows a sequential timeline. Since there is no overlap where designing and construction are happening at the same time, it is much easier to see where the project is going, and it makes it easier for the general contractor and his team of estimators and his and the people who work under them to do their work very efficiently. And the last one being more control. While both of the owner system and the traditional design with build system rely on input from project owner, traditional project delivery system gives you much more command throughout the process. Aside from getting your own freedom to do on your work, it actually helps the contractor to have the freedom to make changes mid-project as well. So next slide, please. So these are the references that we used to do our presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.